Everyone knows you returned the Michelin stars, but I would like to know the journey to the top. How hard was it to get those 3 stars?
Winning 3 stars then and now is very different because the criteria of Michelin is different. When I was a young man, the man who controlled the Michelin was a man called Negilin. Negilin was the most powerful man within the world of gastronomy. He was the head inspector of France, but he controlled Europe. The head inspector of the UK, the head inspector of Italy, the head inspector of Spain, the head inspector of Germany, and the rest of them, they only had the power to give 1 star. But they could make a recommendation of 2 and 3 stars. And then what would happen in those days, the head inspector of Michelin from Paris, Negilin, and his number 2 would come with the head inspector of that country, like in England, Mr. Brown, and the 3 of them would come to your restaurant. You've been recommended for 2 stars. They eat, and they say yes or they say no. And the same with 3 stars. And the reason why they did this is so there was consistency across Europe. But today it's a different world. Today they give 3 stars year 1. The great Michel Negilin said, it takes a chef 8 to 10 years to win 3 stars because they have to prove consistency. Also, a chef had to be behind his stove. Today, a chef doesn't have to be in his restaurant, never mind behind the stove. So it's a different world today.
Did you feel any happiness or relief after you returned the stars?
Winning 3 stars was without question the most exciting journey of a chef's life. And when I was a young boy, we all dreamt of winning 3 stars. Unfortunately, not many chefs achieve 3 stars. But the journey is the journey. And as I always say in life, success is born out of luck. Luck is being given the opportunity. It's awareness of mind that takes advantage of this opportunity. I was lucky. I was given the opportunity to win 1 star, to win 2 stars, and to win 3 stars. And every time I was given an opportunity, I took advantage of that moment. But when you win 3 stars, it's boring. It's systematic. Because everybody wants your specialities. And secondly, you play a defensive game, not an attacking game. To win 3 stars, you play the attacking game. But when you win them, you play the safe game, that defensive game. Because you're now protecting your reputation. You're not making your reputation. But then, one day, I realized I was being judged by people who have less knowledge than me. So, if we're going to be brutally honest with ourselves, what is an award worth when it's given to you by someone who has less knowledge? Very little. So to give them back was easy. But by giving them back, I was given my freedom. And by being given freedom, I could travel the world. I could remove those 3-star blinkers and look at life in a panoramic view rather than through this tunnel vision that you have, because that's what you need to win 3 stars. I wouldn't be happy with 3 stars today. For me, they have little value now. I've been to 2- and 3-star restaurants since I retired, and I question them. It's like I've just been to a 2-star. I went to 5 1-stars. In my day, they wouldn't have 1 star, never mind 2 stars. But I've been to 2 restaurants, in Bratislava since I've been here. And if the Michelin Guide was here, they'd give them 3 stars.
Did more creative freedom come after that?
You can ask yourself, what is creativity? For me, creativity is when you're allowed to be yourself. Remember, a person who works with their hands is a labourer. A person who works with their hands and their brain is a craftsman. But a person who works with their hands, their brain, and their heart is an artist. There's very few artists. An artist has to struggle in life. If there's no struggle, then firstly, there's no appreciation. And secondly, where's the imagination? Because through struggle, you feel your insecurities. Through your insecurities and your fears of failure, you create, you make. Because the only thing in life that never dates is romance. Romance is, without question, the most important. I go to restaurants now, and they give me a masterclass in technical ability. Where's the emotional impact? Because that's what food's all about. It's about the emotional impact. It's like when your mother cooks you a goulash with the dumplings. The emotional impact is extraordinary. Today, you go to these top restaurants, it's like going to a canopy party. It's like a salad bar. The dish is meant to be hot, but it's tepid at best. Why? Because there's too much emphasis put into the presentation rather than the eating. Because the world of gastronomy is about indulging, becoming lost in eating of the most delicious food.
You have already spent 2 days in Slovakia. I'm sure you've eaten in several places. What is the Slovak gastronomy you've tasted?
I've been in Bratislava now 3 days. And what's very obvious, there's a revolution, a gastronomic revolution. You look at the old world, you look at the modern world. So you can see it's happening. Chefs have travelled around the world, and now they've come back home. And you can see it on their plates. You can see the old versus the modern. But having said all of that, I went yesterday for lunch to a little brasserie called Ollie's. And I have to say, this cook, he has confidence. It's very simple, very generous, and very delicious. And what makes him stand out is not just his technical ability, but he accepts and understands that generosity has to be your presentation, so your food's hot. And they don't look down on you if you ask for a beer. Because I think, for me, when I have a goulash, I want a local beer. No disrespect to the winemakers. It's like when I have a stew in England, I want beer. Because for me, certain cuisine works better with beer.
Slovakia and the Czech Republic are in talks with the Michelin Guide. What is your opinion? Would it be good to have this guide here?
I've said what I've said about the Michelin many times in my life. They make very good tyres. They know more about making tyres than they do about food. I've just been to a country, I dined in 6 Michelin-starred restaurants. As I said, not one of them in England would have a star. It should be the same all over the world. If you look at my first answer, I said Michelin was in control of Europe. He dined everywhere. So there was a consistency. So you're saying in one country we have one standard, in another country we have another standard, in another country we have another standard, but if you travel internationally, then you're going to be disappointed. There's a wonderful book called Au revoir about French gastronomy. Au revoir means goodbye. and the interview, Nejland's number 2. And he said on print, when they went to Japan to do the first guide, they were instructed by the head office to give stars, give stars, give stars, give stars, give stars, because we have to build a brand in Japan. I was told when I was in Thailand that the Thai government pay 50% of them to come to do the guide. Well, isn't that compromise? And you said the government here are talking to Michelin. Is that going to be another compromise? Because if they're in talks to bring them here, that means they're happy to pay for them to come here. So therefore, they have to give stars because they're being paid to come, if what you've said is true. Because Michelin should just go automatically. It's like me wanting to open a restaurant. I decide to open a restaurant in Bratislava, that's my choice. But if the government say, come to Bratislava to open it, then they've got a certain say over me. Right or wrong? There's a compromise.
You own several restaurants. What does your normal working day look like?
Depends on the day. It's like the weather. Some days you wake up, it's sunshine. Some days you wake up, it's raining. Some days it's snow. Some days it's windy. It's like today, I'm in Bratislava and I'm going to cook later. Tomorrow I fly to Australia to do a live show in 3 cities. Then I come back and then I go to Scandinavia for a week to cook. So every day is different. And then I go off to LA to film for 2 weeks. Yeah. So that's the difference with my life today. Go back 20 years ago, I cooked 6 days a week. I did 100 hours a week. Today I can be filming. Today I can be doing a book signing. I can be doing an interview. I can be doing a masterclass. I can be cooking a dinner. So my life today is very different to what it was 20 years ago. But as I always say in life, a chef is allowed to stray from the stove, but he must stay close to the flame. It's very important. Stay close to the world that you were born into. That's what I believe.
How do you find restaurant staff in the UK today?
Staff today are very different to nearly 50 years ago. When I was a boy, I came from very humble beginnings. The hotel I went to work in, all the staff were from very humble beginnings. It was a very different world. It was a job. It wasn't a love affair. That came later. Today, some staff, they go to work because it's a job, like it was for me when I first started. Some people have dreams of opening a restaurant. Some people have dreams of being on TV. Everyone has a different dream now. But the truth is, majority of people don't work as hard as they used to. It's a very different world today. It's a very entitled world. No disrespect. That's the world we live in. It's changed.
Has that changed after COVID and Brexit?
I think the biggest change in the UK is Brexit, not COVID. We're no longer part of Europe. So therefore, a lot of staff went back home. So that's made a real change. Some were allowed to stay, but it's made a real change.
Do you still feel passionate about cooking?
It's when I was young. It wasn't a passion. It was an obsession, fueled by my insecurities, by my fears of failure, by that want to be accepted, respected. Today is very different. I'm accepted, I'm respected, and I achieved everything that I was set out to achieve. Today is a passion, because I'm not ruled by my insecurities or fueled by them. If that makes any sense to you.
Can you imagine spending 18 or 20 hours in the kitchen today?
Yes, I do some days still. When I'm in the kitchen, I'm very happy doing 18, 20 hours. Because every day is the same length. No day is shorter or longer, is it? Because when you go to work to do your job. You don't go to work to look at your watch. I'm very simple. I have a simple rule. I never employ people with watches. Because people with watches look at their watch. I have a very simple rule. I've never employed people with a watch because a person who has a watch is always looking at the time. They've always got somewhere else to go. Their mind's elsewhere. In a kitchen, you roll up your sleeves, you keep your head down, you do your job. Because let's not forget, perfection is lots of little things done well. And you never create perfection if you look at a watch. Think about it.
To byla další epizoda z podcastu magazínu Viziče. Všechny epizody naleznete v našem archivu na www.vizičev.com/podcast a také ve všech podcastových aplikacích. Kontaktovat nás můžete na adrese redakce@vizičev.com. Na nový díl podcastu od nás se můžete těšit každý týden. A my se budeme těšit na vás.